Hello, and I'm down at the market again, and today I'm going to cook a really nice, quite a sexy little rich, quite a nice little starter, maybe for a dinner party. It's pan-fried chicken livers with pear, and I've got some Kingston Black West Country aperitif, lots of butter as usual, fresh raw green pepper, bit of rye toast, some celery leaves, maybe a touch of vinegar. I'm going to start off by getting the toast ready because that may take a little while. A touch of olive oil. So the bread is a rye bread, not 100% rye, just a little bit of rye flour in there, so I'm hoping it's going to add a little bit of sourness to the whole flavour of the dish. I'm going to take my pear. Pears work really nicely with chicken livers, the sweetness and the slight kind of earthiness of the flavour really, really balances them nicely. The thing about pears is they are quite hard to find when they're in really good, nice, ripe condition, because they can be hard and then suddenly you turn around and they've gone overripe. Oh, just turning the toast, look at that, that's nice. So I'm just cutting out the core. If you give me a choice of a really perfectly ripe pear over an apple, I might even choose the pear, to be honest. I'm a bit of a pear fan. There's a lovely complexity to the flavour. So I've got a really nice hot pan there, butter's going in, just melting that in the pan. I'm going to sprinkle a tiny bit of sugar to help with the caramelisation. Just cutting the pear into slightly smaller segments, and those are going to go in the pan. There we go, get the butter nicely frothing. Forget about those for a second, and I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the chicken livers. I think that chicken livers are a very, very much maligned offal. People get quite scared of cooking offal, but they're rich, earthy, very sexy, and if you don't want to overcook them because they dry out and they can be really, really horrible. Okay, toast is done, that's lovely. I'm just going to rest that a little bit somewhere so it stays warm. I think it's a bit ambitious with all this wind to try and get both sides of the pear caramelised, because also this pear is quite ripe, so it'll just fall apart. But you see, that's exactly what you want. I'm going to just take these out of the pan for a second, get all those lovely bits of caramelised butter, mix it up. Touch more butter. Again, I want to get my pan really hot. Chicken livers going in the pan. You don't want to cook your chicken livers for too long, basically. If you do, then you're going to end up with them dry, pretty unappetising, to be honest. I'm just making sure that I've got colour at least on one side, really, really beautiful colour on one side of the chicken liver. A little bit of seasoning. I'm not going to put pepper in because we've got these fresh green peppercorns. Just crushing them a tiny bit before I put them in. They're going to be quite lively. There, that's lovely. Got the chicken colour on the chicken livers, that's exactly what I wanted. And then in go my pears, out comes a plate. This is this wonderful Kingston Black cider aperitif. Just going to deglaze the pan with a little bit of that. Got my toast, that's going to come there. I promised to add a few celery leaves, but I think this is just going to add a nice slight difference to the dish. Slightly tougher than pasty, so make sure you chop it quite finely. Put a little bit of that in now. And that's just going to simmer away. Just get those chicken livers cooked perfectly. I think we're there. I've got my toast ready on the plate. There we go. Pears. And I'm just going to let that reduce a tiny bit more. Just a tiny touch of vinegar in there, and that will help balance out the flavour. So that goes over there. There we go, that's a fantastic, very simple, sophisticated starter. Pan-fried chicken livers with pears and fresh green peppercorns.